Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you come across this video. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, and purchases off the wish list. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much. And tipping the Clarista. Okay, yep. I love you. Okay, listen. So here's the theme, okay? First of all, let me sing you a little tune, okay? And they go, safe and sound. Sometimes life brings questions. Questions about love, questions about career, questions about your life journey, and sometimes we just need a little clarity. And that is where my new sponsor, Psychic Source, comes in. Psychic Source has been around for over 35 years, connecting people like you with trusted, compassionate advisors to bring through insights and guidance that they need at this time. One of the things that I loved or that stood out to me with Psychic Source was that not only do they care about their customers, but they also care about their employees as well as the world. They donate 1% of all proceeds to a good cause through their kindness initiative. I had a chance to experience the whole experience and talk to a psychic advisor, and I left feeling far more confident than I did like walking into it. She was able to pull on a recent dream that I had, and the craziness of it, and help me find clarity through that. She recognized that I was going through a purge and that I was going through a kind of like a rebranding, if you will. She was also able to give me like kind of a little bit of clarity on a direction that I'm headed in, and she even was able to like give like dates type energy, as well as like a couple names she pulled out. So it was very good. Like I said, I left feeling a lot more confident than I did going in, just about the direction that I'm headed in. And I didn't ask her any questions. This was all just, I just asked her, what do you got? And she just came, pulled all this stuff, and it was very good. It was very good. So with all that being said, I'm excited to share that Psychic Source is offering an incredible deal for my viewers, you guys. Okay, new customers can get up to 40 minutes with one of their advisors for just $19.80. That's a value up to $240, okay? You can get the deal through the link in the description box below using the keyword Corie, C-O-R-I-E, or you can go to trypsychicsource.com/Corie. There's never been a better time to experience true connection. Okay, so that's the energy, okay? That's the theme, and I cut the deck at deep knowing here and come to the edge. Yeah, you are safe, collective. If you're coming across this video, things may, in the physical, right, maybe from an outsider's perspective looking in or something like that, like it may not seem, or from old beliefs and things like that, it may not necessarily like seem like that, right? I feel like maybe some of you are in a situation or a position or just a season of your life where a lot of people maybe would be experiencing a lot of panic, a lot of fear, a lot of things like that. Your inner knowing is that you are safe and sound, and I'm here to confirm that for you, that you are safe and sound, okay? Yeah, and there's just this energy of like, I feel like you're coming out of your head, right? It's like there's a deeper level of surrender here when it comes to releasing control, okay? For whoever this message is for. A lot of you are probably like, just living a different lifestyle than most people, or like, it's just, there's something about that. Now, with the theme of the reading here, okay, we got the Lover and we got the Flame at the bottom of the deck. Now, so the Lover is somebody who like literally like lusts for life, like loves life, right? Enjoys all the seasons, the ups, the downs, right? And they see the magic and the beauty and the, the creation in a positive light here. Okay, somebody that just really, it's that type of energy. And the flame is like, you know, kind of this. Hold on, there was one thing that I read, and now I've lost it, but it was gorgeous, darling. It was absolutely perfect. So give me just 1 second, my dear. There it is. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. Okay? Health, mental clarity, and good digestion. All right, so interesting. Yeah, this is connected to your sacral chakra for sure. Okay? And, you know, that makes a lot of sense when it's connecting with this, like, the lover energy. Okay? All right, let's get some messages. Safe and sound. I feel like somebody really needs to know that you are safe and sound, okay? There's like this, and I have a feeling too, collective, you're going to be getting some sort of evidence of this. Right? Just some sort of, it may not be huge, it may be little, but it's like, take it as a sign, you know, like something like that. What is that song? Take it as a sign. I don't know. Anyways, look at this, milk and honey. Exactly. You are safe and sound, okay? You eat like a king or a queen. You live like that, okay? Your mindset is adjusting to that, okay? Your beliefs, right? This is something that's always been a deep knowing, an inner knowing, right? Yeah, I do have this feeling though, okay? Yeah, we have this not for you here. There's for some reason I feel like some of you are, I don't know, you're coming out of a belief that says that this kind of peace, this kind of freedom, this kind of life is not for you. Like almost like you don't deserve it. I don't deserve that kind of lifestyle. You know? That's what yeah. And you're moving into this very blessed frequency, energy, perception, right? Because again, there's something where it's like you may not be like, when it comes to, the human mind often perceives safe and sound as, a bank full of money, surrounded by family and friends, debt, out of debt, like, you have a working vehicle, you have all of these, extra things, right? Like, these days a working vehicle is actually, it's kind of a necessity. Not necessarily in all areas, but it's been made that way, right? It's been made that way. But there's something about you finding your value just within you. And this is and also you finding this like inspiration or this spark or this excitement for life also within you. All right. I feel like again, this evidence that you may receive may be very it may be very life altering for you. Okay, it may, whether it be just within your perception, which will then play out for the rest of your life, right? That's life altering. Okay, or it's within your perception, but also it's something, this evidence may be something that is large enough that can change your life, right? So I feel like, something exciting is coming this weekend here. Now, okay, this is also an energy that I was picking up as well with this unfinished symphony. There's a flame that's lighting or relighting here when it comes to a certain connection. Okay, something is not, necessarily over. I also feel like too, you know, some of you, it's like there may be a situation where it's like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it may be just, you may just feel like, man, my life is over, right? Like this, you know, the life as I know it is over. Like there's something, I don't know, there's something significant here. But yeah, it's not over here, okay? Yeah, with this serendipity, I feel like I'm definitely talking about, there's a connection here, okay? And it's been forming in the spirit. But with this unfinished symphony, for some of you, this is somebody from your past. I don't want to hear it if you don't want anybody from your past. Okay? That's your experience. There are some people that are having an experience where they may be okay with that. Their person may actually be somebody from their past, and it may have been right person, wrong time type of situation. Okay? So it doesn't have to be somebody from your past, but if you don't want anyone from your past, that's okay. You don't need to, right? Just, if that's the case, there's a connection that's forming in the spirit. If this resonates with you, and it is a new connection, okay? We don't need to interrupt the class and be like, nope, I don't want nobody from the past. You know? Yeah, TikTok. Ooh, okay. So something is, I feel like there's either somebody feels a lot of pressure, okay, or like they're running out of time, or like the time is right, or the time on this clock is actually 10:08. So 10:08 might be significant for somebody. Okay. Yeah. 10:07. Something that could be a date. Okay, so that would be in October, the 7th or the 8th. Okay, this could also be like a time, right? Maybe somebody, but regardless of the specifics of it, somebody, I do feel like somebody feels like they are running out of time, or they're feeling like the pressure of time, or it is time, right? It's like divine timing, for you to kind of step into this energy, okay, for this evidence to show up, okay. Yeah, look, we have peace. There's something that's going to take place over the weekend, okay, or within the next week or so, or something like that, right, where you're going to feel peace about a situation. It's going to bring in some sort of sense of peace here. Yeah, look, we have serendipity with Treasure Island. This is an energy that feels familiar, right? This safe and sound, right, feels very familiar because it's natural. But there was a time in your life where you were pulled away from that, right? And that kind of went away maybe for some of you. And it's probably been taking some time, TikTok, maybe taking a long time for you to get back in this energy, right? And you're here, right? It may also be too where this separation with this person could have been a really long time. Like a really long time. You know, I don't feel like I'm picking up on like a recent ex. I feel like I'm picking up on somebody where you two separated and went off and lived completely separate lives. Okay? But there's some hidden force, there's some spiritual connection that's bringing you two back together for whatever reason. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but I am really picking up on a romantic situation. Okay? Alrighty. They're saying get 4 more of these hoes. Okay? Milk and honey. The fates. What'd I say? Something, it's like divine timing. You know? Some of you reached a certain point, sooner than, like, I'm a firm believer that we're all exactly where we're meant to be at any given moment in time, right? But I can't help but feel like some of you, right, have been like almost waiting on divine timing, because you reached something before everything else, right? Before the energy, before what was written in the stars, before, you know what I mean? And so that could have caused a little bit of like doubt in that safe and sound energy, okay? But again, I'm telling you, I feel like this weekend there's a knowing, and yeah, look, we have a message in a bottle. Somebody may reach out to you, and this could be what that evidence is a phone call, is a message, this could also be a download, right? This could be, like I said, a perception shift. But I feel like the evidence is tangible, whether it's, or some sort of communication, whether it's big or small, right? It could be somebody totally confessing their love for you, or it could just be somebody feeling the water. It could be that somebody calls and offers you your dream job, right? It could be, you know what I mean? But there's something here that's not over, but that was written in the stars. And that's why you're so drawn to it. That's why because this is a reality that's already existing and playing out, and it's like the version of you in that reality is calling to you, right? And it's like, and you're feeling it, right? So you're like, I know where I'm like, what's meant to be happening, how I'm supposed to be, feeling and moving, and what I'm supposed to be seeing in my reality, because I feel it internally, right? But I'm not seeing it externally. And so there could have been, but anyways, so there is some sort of like physical evidence here that's coming in. I just can't help but feel, I want to say this weekend, whenever you come across this video, this weekend, okay? Like, yeah, we have community here. There's a community that could be running out of time here. Or it's like divine timing for some sort of community to come together or come back together. This fork in the road keeps coming out, man. Man, it keeps coming out, man. Which makes me feel like, let's look in the book. Oh, I was close. Yeah, I feel like there's, I feel like whatever this choice is, okay, because maybe this evidence is a choice, or there may be some sort of option, okay, choice, or there's a choice that you need to make. You need to make that aligned with peace. Not fear, not lack. This may have also been a decision that you made in the past. And you are, I don't know, or you're making peace with a decision that you made in the past, or this is somebody else. This could also be, maybe a conversation, right? Somebody's like, listen, I had a decision to make, right? And I thought I went towards something that would, that was aligned with this community, right? They could have been putting a lot of pressure on this person, okay? Yeah, I heard I can't stop thinking about you. This is somebody who can't stop thinking about you if we're going over to the love side, all right? But they they're now making a choice that's aligned with their peace and not aligned with this community. Okay, whoever this community is, it could be family, it could be friends, you know. Yeah, I feel like they very much so want to reach out. They want to relight, I keep hearing, like, relight an old flame, okay? So, now, for some of you, it's like this person, you make them feel safe and sound. You know what I mean? It's that type of energy here. I'm almost tempted to not use this deck because I don't want to turn this into something karmic. Not that that's necessarily what that's all about, but it always seems to go that way. So I'm going to use some of these cosmic flame oracles because with the lovers coming out, this is a deeper and a higher level connection, right? This isn't just some, you know, happenstance or some sort of, you know, it's not a trauma bond. It's not, you know, it's a deeper level connection here. All right. One that goes beyond the, you know, time and space is what I'm feeling. Interesting. Yeah, this is a past life thing. Alright, so tell me more about this. For the collective, please. Keeping the faith, that's you, right? I know I'm safe and sound. Yeah. And maybe if you're not feeling 1,000% like that at this time, maybe that's a good affirmation. I know that I'm safe and sound. I'm safe and I'm sound. Yeah, but here's these new beginnings. Exactly. That's that evidence, right? That's going to be showing up here. Okay? This is also, right? Maybe this connection coming back and starting. I just get this feeling, yeah, you've been going through the dark night of the soul. You and somebody else is what they're saying. You and somebody else have been going through the dark night of the soul. I think one of you is more aware of what was going on than the other. But there's a connection here that has some sort, you know, this is pure intentions, right? And that's exactly what I was saying. This is not something that was, you know, this is not somebody who treated you terribly or, you know, like tore your heart apart or, you know, something like that. This is somebody who does. They do have pure intentions. Okay, so this connection is definitely safe and sound. There is, and maybe that's what the evidence is. Maybe you've been feeling this and there's some sort of physical evidence you may receive over this weekend here. Yeah, you need to trust yourself. You need to believe yourself. Some of you maybe been feeling this energy, right? Feeling this person's energy and you're like, or thinking about this person heavy or something like that. And you're like, man, you know, I haven't, you know, talked to them in years, or I haven't, you know, thought about them in a really long time, right? For some of you, I heard there was a curse that was broken. Okay, there was some sort of curse that was placed on this connection, I'll be honest with you. Okay, that's not for all of you, okay? But if that curse was placed, if that weapon formed, there was purpose to it. Now, it did not prosper though. Here's why. Because it's broken. Okay? So, there was growth in that time apart with both parties. I can feel it deeply. Because these are two people that are, I saw several times in the pre-shuffle, the balancing the ego. These are two people that have been doing that, right? And you cannot go through a dark night of the soul and not grow. I mean, I guess you could. And if you did, you would end up very, very disturbed. Okay? Yeah. Okay, we have healing herbs. Okay, so herbalism might be significant. The 420s might also be significant. Okay. Ride or die. Exactly. This was like, I mean, this was somebody who would have been, you know, companion, a friend, you know, all of those things here. Okay? All right. Tell me more. Darkest fears. What are these darkest fears? Somebody may be afraid that you are with somebody else. Okay? But they're going to reach out anyways. Yeah. I feel, again, yeah, Phoenix Rising. This is somebody who, you know, again, they, you know, I feel like you and this person both, you know, kind of burned down to the ashes and are this Phoenix Rising energy. This is also like, you know, again, something that you thought was burned to the ground, right? Like dead, gone, right? This Phoenix is rising. There's, you know, neither one of you maybe had any idea that this connection had that power, had that, you know, energy behind it, right? It's like, you know, it's like this bond, this connection is kind of unbreakable. You can burn it down, you can burn it to the ground, but it will come back to life because it has the Phoenix energy to it. Yeah. So some of you, this is definitely like a past life thing, and you may have not met this person yet in this lifetime, and that there was reason for that. Okay, you know, but for others of you, you did meet this person this lifetime. Okay. Yeah, we have divine masculine. This is probably a divine masculine energy. Okay, I heard taking a leap of faith. Fireworks. They have an idea. Okay, somebody maybe did not have an idea about like how to come forward or what to say, or you know what I mean, like that type of energy. They're maybe getting this idea. This is somebody who's like secretly kind of been fighting themselves. Okay? Also, too, I feel like the universe, the divine God source has kind of like hid this person, okay? So that you could find yourself. 2555, so 555 on the timer when I said that, so that you could find yourself. Rather than finding your identity through those around you, right? As an empath, that's oftentimes, you know, especially growing up not knowing that we're an empath, and then we have all of these people around us projecting these things, right? So it's like, you know, there comes a point where we've created this whole life, we've lived this whole life, and it's not really who we are. And that's when the divine, you know, God brings us into isolation, so that we can find ourselves. Remove all of those masks and the veils and the projections and the limitations of all those people that were around us for all those years that we just internalized as the empath. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, what did I say? Spirit realm. You two are very connected in the spirit already. There was a zodiac that I was picking up on, kind of a similar thing. Yeah, the sun. This is what I'm saying. So the moon, this was hidden, okay? But either there's something coming to light. There's some sort of evidence. There's something here, okay? Going from something that's hidden to something that's and the sun, right? Like it's that type of energy here, okay? Yeah, I have to be honest, this person, like I said, for if this is somebody from the past, okay, because for some of you, this person might be married, okay, whether this is a new person or an old person, okay, but or they could have been married, okay, but they found themselves very attracted to you, very drawn to you, very like, and I would question. I don't know. I don't think this person is coming towards you married. Okay. I think that, I don't think that the divine would actually allow that. Okay. Like, I don't think that at all. um, you know, but somebody has like this pull to you. Okay. And I feel like you're going to find out who this is. Yeah, look, yin and yang, right? They've been broken open here and they've been in hermit mode, right? Yeah, they made a decision in the past to go towards their peace. Look, animal spirits, which is the two swans, which signifies soulmates, okay? And then we have divine partnership right here. Sorry, that's our booty right there. I won't show people. But you're going to get some sort of evidence here, okay, of this within a week or so, probably. But this connection goes beyond time and space. There's not a curse, a soul, a banishing. I don't know. That could make this connection completely die, because it is connected to that Phoenix energy. Yeah. Some of you, I'm getting the message too, some of you both came into this life knowing that you were going to experience this, that you were going to come together, that there were going to be people pushing you apart, you would separate, and that you would come back together, right? It's giving very much like, I'm almost thinking of like Snow White and Prince Charming, of like they always knew no matter what was happening that they would always find each other. And either you're Prince Charming or you're the fairest of them all. And either way, I love you. And I'm excited for you to get this evidence. But, for some of you, I feel like it's definitely regarding a relationship. But there is also evidence in other areas of your life that I think is going to start showing up, that you are also safe and sound. And not just in relationships or romantic relationships, but also just in your life, right? Business, career, family, friends, household, all those things. Joy, peace, right? Some of you have done a lot of work to really protect your peace, but you've learned how to, there could have, it's like some of you may be overcoming, or you have overcome a fear of somebody being able to come in and take that. There's a recognition of, wait a second, no, that's mine. Nobody can come in and take that shit unless I let them. And I am too slick for that. But anyways, all right, guys. I hope this was helpful. I love you so much.